pwede mo.
Hello, mic. Hello, mic test. Test mic. Hello. Mm, check mic test. Hello. Hi, Fritz. Can you hear me, Fritz? Paano ko siya mabalaan for kung okay na ang microphone? Okay. Thank you so much, Fritz. Okay, I think I could start now. I'm so sorry for this very short notice. Tapos I have to go live. It's because I gave a summative test to my pupils for the last topic that we have, the last two topics that we have in Math 6. So allow me to share with you today on how to discuss our summative test in Math 6, and mostly of the items that I will be discussing about the area of the composite figure and the surface area coming from the summative test that I gave you. So let me discuss with you first on how to get the area of the composite figure. When we say composite figure, this figure is made up of the basic figures such as square, triangle, circle, rectangle, trapezoid, or the like. So once again, let us review first on how to get the area of the following figures. For example, how do we get the area of the triangle? Oh, sorry. The first one is the square, not the triangle. So the first one is the square. How do we get the area? When we are talking about area, that simply means that we have to count the number of squares. Isipon natin ang pila ka square units that we can get from that figure. So kung magambag kita sang area, we are just counting the number of square units. So for example, ang aton nga square has the unit here of 3 units, 3 units. And of course, this is also 3 units. Okay. I think for ang uh, I think ang 3 units hindi ulit. Can you see there? Okay. So I will make my figure a little bit bigger this time. Sorry for that. Okay. First, let us get the area. Let us review on how to get the area of the following figures. The figures that I am referring to, the basic figures are square, the first one, and of course we will try to get the area of the triangle, rectangle. These are the basic ones, and of course the circle. Okay. Now, for example, if we do have a square, when we say area, we are just only counting the number of square units present on that particular figure or in that figure. So, kung may araw kita sang square and our square is here is the measurement is 3 units, and also we have here 3 units because when we are referring to square, ang square parareho ang side. Uh, in Tagalog, yung sukat ng sides are the same. So if we have 3 here, of course 3 here and 3 here. But when we are talking about the area, we are just counting the number of squares. So if this is 3 units, so for example, this is 1 unit and another unit. So 1, 2, 3 units. Okay, that's 3 units. The the this side is or this side here is 3 units, and of course the other side here, the top or the bottom here, that is also 3 units. So I will divide it into 3 units. So 1, 2, 3. Assuming that we have formed here squares, 3 units, 1, 2, 3, and of course here 3 units. So both sides are 3 units. So if you are talking about the area, you are just only counting the number of squares. So if you are counting the number of squares, so here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 square units. So that's how we get the area of the square. So the area of the square here, square figure here is 9 square units because it is very visible that there are 9 square units. Now, of course, ang nabalaan lang yan natin is the shortcut that if we are getting the area of, or we are solving for the area of the square, you just only multiply side times side. Which is basically, ang abot sa lingon sang side times side na siya. The side here nga 3 units, i-multiply mo sa side here nga 3 units. So, 3 units, okay, times another 3 units. That will give us 3 times 3 is equal to 9 unit squared. Okay? Or that is also, or that is 9 square units. That's still the same. So therefore, when we are getting the area of the square, we will just only multiply the side. Multiply one side by another side. That will give you the area of the square. Um, let's go to the next figure, which is the rectangle. This is really important because later we will have the composite figures. And of course, when we are talking about composite figures, these are figures nga ginsugpon or pinagdugtong to make a composite figure or another figure. So in this case, we have here the rectangle. Of course, for example, the side of the rectangle here is 5. Instead of using unit, I will use this time centimeters. Okay? I will use this time centimeters. So that's 5 centimeters. And of course, here, butang na natin ito nga 3 centimeters. Now, trying to look at this figure, how many squares, pila ihan ka square units ang aton nga maubra? So if we would just only convert these centimeters to units, that means 5 centimeters, 5 units. Assuming that's 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. And of course, the other side here, the shorter side is 3 centimeters or 3 units. So I will divide it into 3 units. So 1, 2, 3. And assuming na puro squares na sa kuno ang aton nga naubra, so let's try to count if how many squares are there in all in that figure. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 square units. And that 15 square units actually is just only the product of these two units here, or these two sides here, the longer side and the shorter side. Okay, the longer side is what we call the length, and of course the shorter side is what we call the width. Okay? So, in getting the area of the rectangle, the parehas na sa nga nag-multiply ka sa iyang nga length kag ang iyang nga width. That's why makita ninyo sa inyong mga modules that is just only length times width because the longer side is the length and the shorter side is width, and these two sides are just multiplied because 5 times 3 it will also give us 15 square units. Or if we will solve that, the length is 5 centimeters and the width is 3 centimeters. So that will give us 15 centimeters squared, or that could also be written as 15 square centimeters. Okay, so the area could be written in two ways. You could use square centimeters or you could use centimeters squared because we are just only counting the number of squares. Okay? So I hope it's clear for us now. Dira nag-derive ang aton nga mga formula for the area. That's why if you will apply also the formula for the area of the triangle, which is, I know, para sa inyong mga modules, that is just equal to 1/2 times base times height. Or that could be also, or that is base times height over 2. The product of the base times height, you just divide it by 2. How come nga amo na siya ang solution sa problem about triangle? Of course, allow me to show to you the process kung paano nagkuha na siya nga base times height divided by 2. Erase ko na yan. Of course, to get the area of this figure, if you notice, we do have your triangle. How about we will make another triangle? Pareho kadako, same size, but of course, we will flip it and place it here. Okay, okay. So if you notice, the figure here, the triangle here is just only half of that entire figure. Okay, let's try this one also. How about if we have this triangle, another triangle? Okay. Um, Wait for a while. Paki-close ang curtain. I think it's not the curtain. Dito siguro. Well, anyway, um, silaw dira ang portion. Hindi kita nun. Okay, I will transfer my figure here. Sorry for that. Okay, I will just transfer my figure here. Later, I will just draw a circle, another circle. Now, for example, if we have this figure, this triangle, okay, that triangle, and of course, we will make another triangle. So, on sa i-flip ta siya nga is inverse sa. what is being what is being formed here is sir hindi makita ang number, so sorry for that. Which number? Michael, may I know which number is it? Siguro ay okay, because of the reflection. Wait, we will fix it. My brother is helping me this time. Okay. Sorry for that. First time to go live. Hopefully, this is really helpful for our kids. I'm trying to explain and to visualize and how to get the area of the figure na ara na siya. Kuberan, siyang pisan man siya. Mike, sorry for that. Hopefully, nga hindi mahulog ang akong utod. Kay pag nahulog siya, for sure, untakid ang live. Kay dalong pa siya sa ospital. Kay nabalik dyan. Okay, allow me to hand him first the sketch tape for a while. For a while, this is also for the sake of everybody to see the figures written on the board. Wait. Sorry for that. Um, Sorry for the interruption. I just want to make it sure, Mike. Okay na sa mic. You could answer me in the chat box if okay na kung kita ano na sa. Okay, going back, as we could see here, we do have a triangle here. And of course, kung may triangle kita, kag i-flip naton, kag ibutang naton dira, the new figure that you could see here is what we call a rectangle. And of course, this triangle is half of that rectangle. Of course. Okay, so if we do have here this figure, and for example, this portion here, okay, that is the length of the rectangle. Am I right? Length, kamang labang aside. For example, this is 4 centimeters. 4 centimeters naman gamitin ko. And here, that is 2 centimeters. Okay. So, it is understood that the length here is 4 centimeters and the width here is 2 centimeters. Okay. Now, to get the area, of course, kung gusto mo mag-drawing, if you wish to make a grid para mas maintindihan mo, you may. So, for example, if this is 4 centimeters, you have to divide it into 4 equal units. And of course, 2 centimeters here divided into 2 equal units. Okay? So, kung rectangle lang sa tani, kung rectangle lang siya, that is just very easy because you just only have to multiply the length and the width. Okay? So, if it is a rectangle, area of the rectangle, all you have to do is length times width, which is 4 times 2, that will give us 8. Okay? So, 8 centimeters squared or 8 square units. But this problem is hindi siya rectangle. That is a triangle. And a triangle here is only of half of the rectangle. Ang ato nga the triangle here is just only half of the rectangle. And if you could notice here, ay tungod half siya, ang ining nga portion sa triangle, this is not anymore the length, but this is now the base of the triangle. So instead of using length for rectangle, sa may triangle, that is called base. That's why ari siya ang base. Okay? Now, if we do have here the width, okay, ang ini naman yung portion for the triangle is not anymore the width, but this one is what they call the height. Okay? Or that's letter H. So, amin siyang H. But how about, diin kita nagkuha sa 1/2? That 1/2 comes from, because the triangle here of the same size I mean of the same ang measurements ng iya nga length sa base kagang iya nga width sa height is just only half of that rectangle. That's why we do have 1/2. So 1/2 of the base times height, 1/2 of the product of the base and height. So our triangle here actually has the area of 2 times 4, which is the base, so that is equal to 8. Then you divide it by 2, so that is equal to 4 centimeters squared or 4 square units. I am only referring to this portion. Okay? Okay? I am only referring to that portion. And that is half of this 8. Half of that 8. So that's how to get the area of the triangle. So 1/2 times base times height. Okay? Or you could simply multiply the base and the height and divide it by 2. That's why we do have an option to use this as a formula in getting the area of the triangle, or you could use base times height divided by 2. So that's it. For example, if we do have this triangle and the base here is 6 centimeters and the height, when we say the height, halin sa pinay ka tip, sa pinay ka ano diri punta, and to its perpendicular sa iyang base. So for example, if the height of that is example, let's put 5 centimeters. Now, if you are to get the area of this triangle, all you have to do is just multiply the base and the height. Base, which is 6, times the height, which is 5. That will give us 30. Then after that one, you divide it by 2 because a triangle is only half of this parallelogram or half of the rectangle. So base times height, which is equal to 30, divided by 2, so that will give us 15 square centimeters. That's how we get the area of the triangle. Okay, so I hope it's clear now. Remember always that if we are talking about area, we are just getting the number of square units. Now, it's impossible to show to you the number of square units for the circle. So, may ara kita nga ginapamemorize sa aton yung formula, which is to get the area of the circle, that is only equal to pi times radius squared. Okay? The pi here is a constant, which is when we say constant, that is true to all. The value of pi is always pi could either be equal to 3.14. For now, 3.14 lang. But when you will be in high school, that is supposed to be 3.1416. So 3.14, that is the approximate value. When you say approximate value, that is just only the estimated value. Okay? So that's the value of pi, or you could also have the value of pi of 22 over 7, or 22 divided by 7. Okay, so we have here the two possible values or two approximate values for pi. The next thing that we have to do is the only thing that we have to know for getting the area of the circle is get the or know the value of the radius. For example, when we say radius, that is the line from the center of the circle to any point on the circle, any point on the circle. Okay, that's what they call the radius. Okay, and obviously the radius is just only half of the diameter. That's the diameter. Okay, so the diameter is a line segment that can be drawn from one point on the circle, passing through the center to another point on the circle. Okay, so that's what we call diameter. So for example, if the diameter here is 14 millimeters, okay, let's change the unit, millimeters this time. So our radius is 7 millimeters. Okay, that's how to do it. Now, the value of, or I mean the area would be, that is 3.14. Let's use 3.14 this time, times the radius, which is 7 millimeters, times, when you say r squared here means r squared is equal to radius times another radius. You multiply radius two times or twice by itself. Okay, so 7 millimeters times 7 millimeters. So that is 3.14 times 7 times 7, that is 49 millimeters squared. So 49 millimeters squared times 3.14. So that is equal to, the area of that circle is 153.86 millimeters squared. That's how to solve for the area of the figure. Okay, so so allow me to show you nga muna sa ang formula sa aton nga circle. Okay, allow me to show to you why is it that the formula in solving the area of the circle is pi r squared. Where did it come from? So so if we do have here a circle actually, and that circle is divided into parts. Sorry for that. Okay. And of course, this one part here, it would be better if you will divide it into smaller, so smaller sectors, para makita mo ang difference. So for example, the portion here, this one, okay, butang siya dira. Okay, that's one of the sectors. And of course, number two na naman niya, butang ko naman diri sa dalom. This is number one. Okay, the number two naman diri ko naman butang sa may dalom. Okay, this is number two. And number three, diri ko butang sa may babaw. Okay, this is number three. Sorry for the drawing. This is number four. I will put it alternately. Okay, so this is number five here. Hopefully, this will help you. And this is number six here. We have, I am discussing this time the derivation on how we arrive with pi r squared. Number six. This is number seven here. Okay, sorry, pasmado ang kamot puro. Number eight. Okay, that's number eight. Okay, so if you notice here, kung gin-chunk mo na sa, or if you divide it into smaller pieces, mas straighten pag na siya ang line na diri. Okay, mas straighten na siya ang line. So up to the point, ang guwa sa ating figure would look like that one. Okay, so for that, I'm not really good in art, but I will try. So if you will try to divide it into chunks of smaller pieces, ang aton nga illustration would look like that. Okay. And actually, this would look like a parallelogram. Okay. And to solve for the area of the parallelogram, of course, to get the area of the parallelogram, that is just only base times height. Okay. For the parallelogram, that is base times height. Now, if we could relate it into circle, kung divide sa into fine sectors, of course, we will just only have to multiply the base, which is, here are the base and base, okay, and the height, okay, and the height, and that is the height, okay. So to get the area of the parallelogram, that is just only base times height. nga nakalambot kita sa parallelogram. Why did we reach parallelogram? Because if you have here a circle and if you will divide it into sectors like this, ano pagid, smaller sectors pagid, para mag-flatten ang line dira, it would look like a parallelogram. And the formula or the area for the parallelogram, to get the area of the parallelogram, that is only base times height. If you notice here, our base here, our base here is just only half of the circle, half of the circumference. Remember, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, okay. So the portions here is the base. Okay, which is half of the circumference. Half. Why? Because the other half of the circumference is here below. So, um, thank you so much, Jilna. Okay. Uh, so we have here half of the circumference is the base. So that is half of the circumference. Half of the circumference. Half of the circumference. That is the base. Okay. Next, we will multiply it by its height. Actually, the height here is the radius. Here is the height. Okay, that's the radius. Okay, so times the radius. Remember that in getting the area of the circumference is just only to solve for that circumference that is equal to pi times d. Okay, and our d here is twice of the radius. Okay, remember that our d here is twice of the radius. Okay, that's twice of the radius, our d. So to get the area of or the circumference, I mean, that is equal to pi times d, which is twice of the radius. Okay, that's for the circumference. And of course, we have here another radius. Okay, now if you notice, one half of 2 is equal to 1. Okay, so we could cancel 1/2 and 2 because that is equal to 1. So what will remain here is the pi times radius, or that is also equal to pi times radius squared. That's the derivation of how we get the area of the circle. So if you don't need anymore the derivation, all you have to do is put always here. Remember always that getting the area of the circle, that is just only pi times radius squared. I hope it's very helpful for those who aspire or who are aspiring teachers. You always have to remember on how did we arrive with the solution for or the formula for the area of the circle. So always remember all those formula in getting the area of the different figures. Okay, that's all right. After the 28 minutes live, I already discussed with you the different formula for the area. Okay, because we will need that. That's very basic. So once again, let's review. The area of the square is always equal to side times side or side square. Okay, the area of the rectangle, that is always equal to side. Sorry, we're not using side here. Uh, gagamit lang kita sa side. We are just only using side if two sides are, ang duayable ka sides are of the same ang iyang measurement. However, it's sa may ato niyang rectangle, of course, ang longer side is what we call the length, and the shorter side is what we call the width. So you just multiply length times width. Now, for the area of the parallelogram, that is equal to base times height. Okay? So, ang length nato now is what we call the base, and the height is what we call the width. Of course, the area of the triangle. Of course, the triangle is half of the rectangle or half of the parallelogram. So that is also base times height. Then you will get the 1/2 of it. Or that could be also written as base times height divided by 2. Okay, always remember that one. And for the area of the circle, that is equal to pi times radius squared, where pi could be equal to 3.14, or that is 22/7. Okay, I would also suggest that if the radius is 7, use 22 over 7, or divisible by 7, use 22 over 7 as a value of pi. So we always have to remember all this formula, because this time I will be discussing with you on how to get the area of the composite figure. Okay, the first figure in my summative test that I gave you is this one, same as the figure, or similar to the figure that is written in your so this module. So how do we get the area of this figure? Actually, it looks like a house, but this figure is just only is composed of the triangle at the top and this. I think it's a rectangle below. Rectangle. Nga nakasiling ako ng rectangle. It's because the other side is 5, the other side is 6. So, hindi equal ang two sides niya. So, rectangle siya. Okay? Sir, good afternoon. Good afternoon to our 19 viewers. This time, allow me to discuss with you on how to get the surface, surface area, the area of this figure. Okay, uh, the figure here at the top is a triangle. If you see here, this is just only composed of the triangle. Wait, sorry for that. The triangle and plus the rectangle. Okay, so that's already the area of the composite figure. So, kay ang instruction is just get the area of the shaded figure, and the shaded figure here is composed of a triangle and a rectangle. So, allow me to solve the area of the triangle. Area of the triangle. Of course, remember that is equal to base times height divided by 2. Okay, our triangle here, are yung base, that portion is the base. Okay, and the base is also equal here. Okay, this one and this one here are equal. So if this is 5 centimeters, of course, 5 centimeters man na siya dito ang base ng ating triangle. So that is 5 centimeters times the height. Height of the triangle is from here, perpendicular to the tip of that triangle. Okay, so that is equal to 4 centimeters. So, tama, 4 centimeters. Now, to get the area, you have to divide it by 2. Once again, because a triangle is half of the parallelogram or the rectangle. Yeah, that's right. So 5 times 4, that is equal to 20 centimeters squared divided by 2. So do you know what is half of the half of that 20? So half of 20 is equal to 10 centimeters squared. So therefore, the area of that is 10 centimeters squared. Okay, that's how to do it. The next thing that we have to do is, tapos kita sa may triangle, this time we will get the area of the next shape, which is rectangle. Okay, the area of the rectangle. Of course, to get the area of the rectangle is just only length times width. Remember that the length is always the longer side. Now, which is longer, 6 or 5? Of course, the longer side is here, that's 6 centimeters. So that is our length. Okay? Hindi fix ang aton nga length, depende sa positioning. Basta paglaba siya, that is the length, and the shorter side is what we call the width. Okay? So the length here is 6 centimeters, okay, and the width is 5 centimeters. So 6 centimeters times 5 centimeters, that's 30 centimeters. Centimeters times centimeters, that is centimeters squared. Remember, because we are counting the number of squares, that's why ang aton nga answer would always be in square units, or square centimeters, square millimeters, and square meters. Okay, square inches, square kilometers. Okay, so the area is 30 centimeters squared. The next thing that we have to do, this composite figure is composed of the triangle and the rectangle. You combine them. Okay, so if you will combine them, so that's just only 10 centimeters squared plus 30 centimeters squared. That will give us 40 centimeters squared. And that's already the area of the shaded figure. I hope it's clear. Let's proceed to item number 2. Any question? Sir, good afternoon. Hindi kita on, sir. Hindi kita. Which one? Jill na, may I know kung saliin ang hindi kita. Ano? Okay, let's proceed to the next figure. This way is very important nga ipakita ugid sa inyo first ang formula or paano gin-derive ang mga uh, formula for the area of the following figures because this is really important. It is our key in solving the area of the composite figure because composite figure is made up of many more figures. Okay, so as you can see here, kay di ko nakitanon, allow me to show you. This is 8 meters here and it is also 8 meters here. Okay, I hope it's clear now. And this figure actually is made up of this. That is a semicircle. When we say semicircle, that is half of the circle. Half, semicircle. And of course, we do have here, that's 8 centimeters, 8 meters here, and 8 meters here. So that is a square. So this composite figure is just made up of a semicircle and a square. Now, let's get the area of the square first. Ako square now, I have to start with the square because it's just very easy. Area of the square is just equal to side times side. I hope it's clear now. Now, side natin here is 8 meters times another side here, which is also 8 meters. So the total is 64 meters squared. Remember that the unit is always square unit. Okay, 64 meters squared or 64 square meters. Okay, that's the area of the square. Let's proceed to the area of the circle. Okay, to solve for the area of the circle, okay, the formula is pi times radius squared. But this is not a circle here. That is just only half of the circle. So because that is just only half of the circle, so area of the semicircle is equal to half. Ito nga, sang area sang circle. Okay? So, ito nga sang area sang circle. So here, 1/2. In my exam, I specified there that you have to use 3.14 for the value of pi. So times 3.14 times the radius. Oh my, sorry. Dumidugon ko sa para makaigol siya. Okay. Again, that is equal to 1/2 times the radius, which is 3.14. Sorry, the pi, which is 3.14, and the radius is half. Remember that is of half of the diameter. Okay, this is the diameter, so the radius here is 4 meters. So 4 meters times another radius 4 meters. Okay, so it would be best if we will get first the half of 4. Half of 4, which is equal to 2. Okay, that's 2 times 4 meters. Half of 2. Half of 4, which is 2 meters times 3.14. So that is equal to 3.14 times 8 meters squared. So all you have to do is just multiply 3.14 by 8 meters. So that will give us 25.12 meters squared. So here is 25.12 meters squared. That's the semicircle. Then all you have to do is you will just add them here. Okay, so if you will just add them, so that will give us 80, 89.12 meter squared. That's the area of the whole region. Okay, that's the area of the whole region. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay, let's proceed to the next figure. Okay, our next figure is looks like this one. Okay, that's the next figure. Okay, that figure actually is composed of a rectangle. We do have here the rectangle, the standing rectangle. And of course, you are only asked to get the shaded region. When you say shaded region, if we will get the area of this region, the whole rectangle, dala ini siya ang aton nga triangle. However, only the shaded. So only this portion, and not this one. Okay? So if you notice here, that is a rectangle. Pero may ginkuha, may call out nga triangle. So we will subtract the area of that triangle. Okay? We will subtract. Buhin lang natin. Okay? So first, let's get the area of the rectangle. And of course, area of the rectangle is length times width. Hapos ng sa, it is easier now to solve. It's because we already know what the formula of the different figures. Okay? So that is the length, which is the longer side. The longer side here is 12 units. Okay? 12 units. That's 12 units. Times the width here, this one, that is 5 units. So if you will add it, oh sorry, if you will multiply it, 12 times 5 is 60 unit squared, or 60 square units. Okay? So that's the area of the rectangle, 60. Is it clear? Anon? 60 unit squared. Next is, the next thing that we have to do is to get the area of this triangle. Okay? The area of the triangle. So area of the triangle, actually, that is base times height divided by 2. Sorry. The base here is this one. Okay? The base here is this one. So the base is 7 units. 7 units. Okay? Times the height, ang kataason, from the base perpendicular to the tip or the other vertex. Okay, that's the height. So the height here is also equal to the width of the rectangle, which is 5 units. So all you have to do is just divide it by 2. So it is clear that 7 times 5, that will give us 35 unit squared, divided by 2. So you just divide it by 2, that will give us 17.5 unit squared. Okay, so that's the area of the triangle. So 17.5 unit squared. All you have to do this time is to subtract, because we will have to take out that white portion here para ang mabilid. The remaining here will be the shaded figure. So if we will subtract 60 minus 17.5 here, that will give you, oh come on, that will give you 42 unit squared. That's the area of that figure. Okay? The shaded figure only, because ginkuha nato ni siya, we subtracted that one, and we are just only solving the shaded region. So the correct answer is 42 units squared. Okay? Next one. Maybe after sang akon a live video this time, after 1 hour, maybe I will have to pause. Then I will just go back later for the surface area. What we are discussing right now is the area of the composite figures. Okay, I hope this is helping you now. Hopefully. Because I know nabudlayan gid ang akon ng mga students this time on how to get that area of this composite figure. Hindi gani kaya ang A simple figure lang, composite figure pa. Now, this time, you are asked here to get the area of the shaded region. Okay, I just want to make emphasize that this is 14 millimeters. Okay, and I think I'll use black. And here, that is 10 millimeters. Okay, and if you notice here, we do have here two figures. That is a circle. Then, of course, ginbuhin natin. We have to take out that unshaded figure, which is a square. Okay, so let's first solve for the area of the circle. Okay. The circle can be solved by multiplying the value of pi by radius squared. Okay, so the pi here we will just use 3.14, even though that is divisible by 7, uh, times the radius. Ang radius niya is half of the diameter. I just want to make it clear. Ha? Laruan ko lang. Uh, the 14 here is the diameter of the circle. Okay, the 14 is the diameter of the circle. I just want also to make it clear. I know that some of you are solving other way because there are another way on how to solve the area of the square. But it's hard for me to look for the value of the diameter of the square, which is the sorry. I was unable to look for the correct value of the diagonal of the square, which is also the diameter of the circle. So this is merely for calculation purposes only. So this is just only the estimated value of 10 derivative 14 dira. But it's not really the exact or the correct value supposed to be. Just for the calculation purposes to get the area of the shaded figure here. So to all the mathematicians out there, questioning for the values given, ano na siya, I just estimated it. Okay? So, 3.14 times ang radius is just half. Remember, that is just only half of the uh, diameter. And if this is 14, therefore the radius is 7 mm, times another radius, which is 7 mm. So that is equal to 3.14 times 49 millimeter squared. Okay? Okay, so that is 49 times 7, 3.14. Yeah, that's correct. And the value of that is, oh wait, that's 153 uh, 0.86 millimeter squared. Okay? The next thing that we have to do is, that's already the area of the circle. Now we will get the area of the square. Square is side times side, or side squared. The side of this square is 10 millimeters times another side. Of course, kay ang square, the same man lang ang iyang side. If one side is 10, of course, the other side, it's understood na 10 man siya. So that will give us 100 millimeters squared. So now let's substitute. This is 153.86 millimeters squared minus that square. Kaya ginkuha natin ng square. We take out the square, the white portion there, because we are only asked to solve for the shaded region. Okay, minus 100 millimeters squared. So that will give us 53.86 millimeters squared. That's the area of the shaded region. Okay, that's how we get the area of the composite figure. You have only to be very careful. You have only to be very careful if what are the figures that compose the other figure, or the new figure. So then all you have to do is think if we will add them, we will combine them, or we will subtract them, because we are only asked of the shaded nga may ginqua, or there were taken parts out of the whole. So that would be all for now about the uh, area of the composite figure. I hope it's very helpful. I'll be back in a short while to discuss the surface area naman of any of the figures. or any of the solid figures. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this is very helpful. I'll be back using the same, or I think I will have to make another link for this. Thank you and see you in my next episode. Bye. Any question, by the way? If there's none, that would be all.